Hello, good evening. Welcome. My name is Kwabena. I want to share with you how to build a committed and beyond average team to develop the business. How to build a committed and beyond average team to build the business. Most people, or majority of us, are used to um, seeing companies organized. They have capital, they have the infrastructure, they have the name, they have the brand, and then people if they need people, they advertise, people go there, they give them jobs, they have departments like HR, finance department, they have the project department, they have all these kind of complex uh, things. Now those businesses have been in existence for some number of years. The difference between those who will be able to build a business that would become maybe a middle-sized business or a big business, and those who will stay small will not just be because of the finances, but also the ability of the business leader, of the people in charge of the business, the ability to build a committed and beyond average team. The business is nothing until they are able to build a team that is able to work wholeheartedly to pick the business from the basic level, from the startup level, from the level that nobody respects the business, to a company that will become well known, or a company that will become structured. Many people are that much frustrated with the people factor, the ability to put a team together. It is very frustrating. It's not that simple. It takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of skill, and until you qualify that, until you're able to develop that as a business person, you will be the only one who will be building your business. That's why a lot of people, they have a business, but it is so difficult for the business to grow, for the business to become big, and for the business to be structured, because the ability to develop or to build a committed team, and a team that can work beyond the average person's way of working is weak, and it's not there. And so most people, they have a trading company, they have a business, but everything is just about them, or just about one person or the other, because it takes a lot of effort to build a people who will be trained, or who will be at least prepared to work towards the vision of building the company. So in a world where people are at liberty to live their dreams and to live their aspirations, how do you get these people? How do you identify these people to become part of a company that you'll be able to get the best of them and get their heart together and be committed to the dream of building a business? People have the freedom to live the life that they want and to take the path that they want. How do you still become a person who can develop that kind of personality, that kind of expertise, that kind of skill, to put people together, and possibly to even develop them, and for them to be committed to building a business? Without the people, without the team, it is that much difficult for you to build a company. It's so difficult. So you have to be a person who believes in team advantage. The difference between the business which is that small, like one person doing everything, and the one who is able to employ more people to grow the business, is because the person believes that he cannot or she cannot do everything all by himself. It's a philosophy, it's a thinking that you have to develop. If you don't work on that, and if you don't work on that, all the sweat that you are sweating, maybe the only compensation that you will get will be some kind of little money somewhere, because everything that you would have to get then will come from your sweat. You have to be there to work for you to get results. You have to be involved. You have everything would have to revolve around you if you don't have that team advantage. The difference between the small business and the business that has been able to grow is because the people who were in charge believe that they needed people to build this business. Now the thing is that it's so difficult to build in a people, particularly from a startup point of view. If MTN wants a lot of people, they will just get people, because MTN has the money, MTN has the infrastructure, MTN has the name. The best engineers would want to work with them. The best managers would want to work with them. They have cars, they have all kind of things. Now, if you start a business from, from your room, and you have to become that kind of person who will be able to attract good people and develop them, the fact is that you will not get the best of skill to start the business with. And so you would have to develop that ability to look at somebody who does not look so much like somebody with a skill, somebody who can be in the future of the business. And still, you should have the eye to see and to pick somebody, develop that person, possibly to become part of the business and to grow that business. That is a skill. It's so much crucial. Why? Because people have their aspirations, and particularly in a part of the world, people, when anybody, let's say you want to pick maybe a graduate to become part of your business, they are looking for big salary, which you may not have. They are looking for a car. They are looking for a house. They are looking for consistent salary. You may not have it. And at the same time, they're also looking at if they're what they call opportunity to travel to another country to go become whatever they want to become, or even some of them will be talking about, I'm going to do my master's and PhD. You have to pick from this kind of people, and it is tough. It is tough. But what is important is that even though when you have the right people, and if they're able to stay with you for a very long time, is the best. But for me, what is really, really, really important is the skill that you, the business owner, the business leader, is developing. The team skill that you're developing, because you believe that you cannot do everything by yourself and you need people to work with. Your ability to keep on developing that thing, not necessarily developing a particular person or particular people, but the ability to develop a team so that Akwesi can come and join and go. The other girl can come and join and go. But you continue to become a better person to develop that skill, to put a team together, to develop a team that is committed, that is beyond average. That person that you are becoming, for me, is the best. Not so much as to which particular person is able to stay with you, even though that is an advantage. But until the business is making a lot of money, the shortest, the longest span that you are going to get people to stay with you may not be more than 5 years, especially if they are young and they are not married. They have a lot of future ahead of them. They have gone to school, those kind of things. A lot of them will not stay with your, with your company for you to go through all the cycles for you to become a formidable business. So you start with that belief that you need the people to work with. But at the same time, you are going to go through where people are going to come in, join you, be there, and the next day they tell you that they have another offer. You have national service people coming to join you, and right away they go on to find another big business, and big company to work with. You get all kind of people coming. Some of them will be 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, 1 month, and they go. But the good thing is that you would have been able to break that fear of not being able to work with people, and you would have been able to develop the best of philosophy, that if you want to build a business and grow it, you must master the ability to pick the best of people, or to develop the best of people, get them committed, and get them work beyond the way the average person works. So this will make your business to grow, no matter who comes in and no matter who goes out of the business. Your ability to build a culture of a business that is open to team, and being able to build a culture that will get the people committed to working for the time that they are with you in the business is so much important. For me, if it's not a big business, if it's not a big company, the turnover in terms of people coming in and going out, because you're still at the stage where you're struggling to find your feet, to find the project, to find the business, and there could be all kind of things that you yourself, you're still trying to understand. And so you can't say that, oh, I want to do everything alone. That you, even if you stay with building the business and is even making some kind of revenue, you would have lost the ability to develop a people. And most people get more frustrated trying to work with people, opening up with people, having the ability to develop the quality that they need from a team. Most people, most leaders, most entrepreneurs don't have that, because they did not start with that, and probably it was not even part of their philosophy. And yet, if you live that, the possibility of you being able to build the business beyond yourself will be that much difficult. And so go through the try and error. The try and the error, the people coming and going, making mistakes, all those, with the people, with the ability to develop your skill, to get a team, develop quality, committed, beyond the average that everybody else is working with. So that whenever somebody comes to join that culture, you would have been able to build a culture that gets people to be a bit committed to the project, to the business, at least the time that they are there with you. And so you have to look for people who are good at heart. I don't know how you do that, but you have to have the eye to look for people who may not so much look as qualified, as prepared, but you can see that they are just good people. They are just people who want to work. They are just people who want to do something with their life. They are just people who want to try to be committed to any project at hand. How do you look for that? If you have that, if you have developed that, when you look at somebody like that, you will see. You will see. And you should not even break everything down so much to just the school. Some people are that much good. They may have SHS, they may even have JHS, what they call it, but they may be that good, and they could take a position in the company that just because, by and large, when somebody is that good at heart, a lot of the things that startup do, your company will do. I think that most of them will be able to do it if they have good heart and if they have commitment. If you're able to get somebody that you'll be able to develop to be that much committed to the work at hand, anybody who can just write their name and speak some level of English, you'll be able to train sometimes far more better than the ones with the degrees at the stage where your company may not be able to pay these people, and your company, they may not even be proud to be working with a company that you just started. But the other ones who may have less education may be very much happy and committed, and even be okay with the kind of salary that you may be giving at that stage of your business, and they'll be that much enthusiastic to have that much of work committed to them, because they will have their confidence to be worked on. And so you would have to look for people, not necessarily just because they are, they have good education, but a lot of it is because they are good people. And you may have to look at how people behave and how people work. There was a time that I went to some place to, just watch the car and look at the gentleman and how he was working. Just look at how the guy, the way he was working, and how he was respectful in talking, and the attention that he was doing to what he was doing, he was giving to what he was doing. I just saw that this is a good guy. He may not have the so-called education. He may not have all the kind of things that probably the people who have gone to university may have had, but he had that which a lot of them didn't have, which is a good heart and commitment to work at hand. And so your startup, you look for somebody like that. Somebody, I don't know what you have to use to get a good person. You just throw a chance, it's lotto. But look for something. Look at how they work. Look at how they talk. Look at, test them. Test them. And these are the people that I think, people who have endured some level of pain and struggles in life. People who have overcome a lot of challenges will have the ability to work with a company that is not that much big, because they have gone through a lot of things with their lives. They may be young people, but they have tried things that didn't work. They have been on themselves. They have been taking care of themselves. These are the kind of people, when you get to work with your company, they will have the kind of the commitment that you're looking for. If the people have not endured a lot of things, and it's just exam that they wrote, they may not be good people to work in a startup. They may not be proud to work with you. A lot of them will be comparing themselves with you. They will think that they even have better education than you have. And so when you're looking for people who would have to work with the company that you have begun, look for such people. Look for such people until you're able to pay a lot of salaries. And I don't think that you should worry yourself so much trying to look for all these so-called graduates to come and do the things that they are not proud of doing. If they are not proud of working there, you don't need such people. You need the people who will be proud of the opportunities that they get in working with a company of your stature. Maybe when your company has become a 200 million company, a billion company, big company, maybe you'll be looking at those kind of people who believe so much in social stature and prestige and things like that. Those who believe in car and house and big English kind of people. But at the beginning, you are looking for people who have endured something, people who want to succeed with their lives, people who are not proud to begin from where the company is beginning, and who may be that much passionate and be involved with where the company wants to go. These people should be that much. They should be that much genuinely interested in the prospects of the company, in the prospects and what you're doing. One of the mistakes that you are going to make is when you just pick people because you think that they have gone to school, they can speak some English, and a lot of them don't know how to work. A lot of them don't have energy. A lot of them don't have focus and attention. Why? Because it may be their first work after national service. They may not have worked anywhere. Your company may not have the resources to pick people who may have worked somewhere with better work ethics. These guys that are coming from national service, the exposure is not little, and they think that the future is so big, and they have a lot of huge aspirations, of what they want to become. They will feel like they are wasting their time working with your company, a company that you just began, which is just 1 year or 6 months or 3 months, you don't have a lot of things put together for them. I don't think that those are the people that you need. If you would want to pick anybody like that, I think that you may want to pick somebody like that, maybe as a partner, but not as startup employees, small business employees. No, you need people who have endured something, people who have gone through some things and overcome. They may not be that much educated, but you just need them to go and do the things that you do. If it's so much a technical work, if it's so much technical work, maybe you would want to consider giving it to consultants or to independent companies to develop that for you. But the general things that people do, the errands, the operations that people do in a startup, a lot of it can be done by these guys who may have been doing a lot of things right after school. They have tried a lot of things, they have endured, they know how to work, they are passionate, they have energy, and they are happy with the kind of opportunities that you give them. Those are the people that you look for if you really want to develop a committed and beyond average team, because without that, your business will not lift. One of the things that you also want to do is that when you pick such people, you should be that much concerned to what happens to these people beyond the workplace. You should be much involved in what goes on in their lives, because some of them, all that they have will be the father they work with you. They will take you as a father, as a family, as everything. And so you would want to go beyond just a work transaction, legal transaction. You would want to go beyond that and get involved in that which that is important to them. You get involved when they are sick, when they have challenges, their rent, their family issues. There are a lot of things that you would want to, because you're fairly a small business, and you want a lot of energy from these people that you have employed. You have to be involved in their lives, and they have to see you as a good person at a core. You have to be that much genuinely interested in their lives, in their humanity. You have to be asking them, is everything okay? What else? Because most people come with an edge, so to say. They come to work with you having come from a background where most people were not interested in their prospect. They just use them. Now, for you to get beyond, for you to get a commitment and for them to perform beyond the average, you as a person must go beyond what everybody else does. What everybody else does is they just give them some person somewhere and they just use them like donkeys. You would want to treat them as humans, give them respect, be interested in what they become. If they came and they had nothing, they had one shirt, one shoe, if they are with you, the little that you have, you want to make sure they look the best, because everybody looks at them to judge you. So if they work with you and they came and they had nothing, if they came with you and they could not write their names, now that they be with you for 2 years, for 3 months, for 1 year, you want them to become better, because every human being, given the right opportunities, the right training, can become the best at anything. So you want to look beyond just working. Even if they drive the car that you have, even if they carry some material somewhere, whatever they do, you want them to become better than the average person who does the same thing in the other company. That's why you get the best from them. In that case, they see themselves as you have their best interest at heart. And nobody wants to just come to work with you for you to just succeed with them failing. No. People give their best because they see that we are succeeding together. We are becoming the best together. If they were only becoming something, if they are only working for your interest, they will never give their all. They will never give their all. So you have to be a person that if you say that you want people who are committed to be part of the business, which you need or the business will not pick, then you must also be committed to their interests, to their welfare, to everything that surrounds them. It's so much key if you want your business to go and you want the best from your team. Train them just beyond the job. Train. There should be a training. There should be some models that you work on yourself. There should be a timelines. There should be timetable. There are training times that you sit down with them and talk about things that are important to the company, things that are important in life in general, things that are important to family, things that are important to the country, to the continent. You have to virtually break a lot of things down because they have their convictions. They have their ideas. They have the way they look at life. They are going to make a lot of decisions based on the way they look at life. And some of it may not be the best for you. So you would want to go beyond just the fact that, okay, he has to move this item from here to here and he works like a robot. No, now you want to get into even how do they, if they are not married and they want to pick a woman to marry, what decisions do they make? What are the things that they have to look for to pick a woman to marry? You would want to be interested in that. What food do they eat? Because if they eat and every day they are sick, it's going to be trouble for you. How do they handle their money? When they get paid, how do they handle it? They may just have very, very basic information as to when you pay them, what do they use the money for? You would want to be involved and at least discuss. The training should go beyond just what they do at work. Some of them are looking for visa to travel. If you know something about it, you would want to break it down for them and tell them what is out there and what they can do here. You just have to build those, because with those consistent training, then they get to understand a little of life from your perspective. And if you are genuinely interested in their welfare, you will give them things that you are using yourself in terms of knowledge, in terms of understanding, in terms of information, and even religion and all those things that are important to our people, important to people. You would want to get involved in that, because that is how getting a committed team, getting a team that is so much passionate about working with you when your business shows nothing. It's not simple. It's something that you build, you produce, you work on. It doesn't just happen. It's not magic. It's not something that you just pray that it happens. It's something that is coming out of consistent training, consistent building, consistent cultural shiftings. So if you want the best of the people, because you're going to pick the same people from everybody else that you yourself will pick, and they are coming with a lot of confusion, a lot of baggage, a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of baggage or luggage, a lot of those things, a lot of things that don't necessarily work. Okay, so you want them to become committed to the business. Now, don't forget, they all have people that they talk to. Everybody has at least 200 people that they know, at least, maybe 250 or 100 people that they know. And a lot of them have friends. They have built their own network. They are going to be talked to by other people. How do you train them to focus here? That is a skill that you have to have. That's why some people say that, oh, I was working with this person, I didn't know what happened, and the next day he said that he's going and I've not done anything, because a lot of people are talking to them. And so yes, you can cage people, you can control people, but at least if you train, you'll be able to get the right kind of people to work with you. But the best of it that you are becoming is that now you are becoming a very good team leader, because you started with building teams. Just as you start a business and you want to develop the scale in terms of the finances, you cannot overlook that scale of being able to build a team, because none goes, the team and the money go together. Okay, you cannot just focus on just getting the money and leaving the team scale behind. You are not going where you will trade everything that you have, because the ability that you are developing is that you'll be able to spread your time and spread your expertise in the team that you're building. So get into the culture, get into the work ethics, understand a lot of things that they have heard all their lives in the culture, the things that you believe are not necessarily true. You would want to discuss with them and confront some of those ideologies, because they all interpret a lot of things from that. They have a lot of convictions from the culture. They have a lot of convictions, like maybe he's a man, he's a young man, he has some kind of thinking about working with somebody, because some friends may have told him, or they have thinkings on working with women. He's a man. So you have to develop all those with them. And you have to work on. People just say that, oh, I'm tired. They work small, they are tired. Now, if you want the best of your team and you want commitment, they have to know how to work extra, and they have to know how to work to get results, not just to show up to work. They work to get results. So they pay attention to that which has to be done, and it has to be done well. That thing, they may not have come with it. You have to develop that. You have to build a company culture that is getting that into the people. So when somebody has been with you for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, I give myself like 6 months. At least 6 months, they start to get to understand what the business stands for, what the company stands for. If you are doing direct training, if you are that much interested in talking to them, because they come in there with all kind of ideologies, but when you open up and when you get, sometimes even just informal conversation with them, you are there, maybe you have bought some cocoa and cartier, you are eating, you get involved, you're laughing, and you chip in some things, because how the training is not just, does not have to be formal. No, sometimes you're just there, we are talking, you're smiling, sometimes, and you just have to have that personality to give things to people as well. Sometimes you just have to buy some shirt for people. Sometimes you just have to use the things that you have that you don't need, and a woman who works with you is struggling. The things that you're keeping. Sometimes just go somewhere and buy something and give them. That is how you build people. That's how you build committed people. That's why you get people to put all their all into building the vision. So if you're that much selfish and self-centered, you cannot get a committed team. And you cannot get a team that works beyond average. They can only pretend to work because you are there. But when you are not there, they will not do anything. They will cheat, they will lie, and they will say all kind of things. So deal with them in terms of them being able to overcome laziness of mind, laziness of work. Your team should be able to get attention to do the work, not to go and play football. The comedy should come down from the culture, and that's why you get people to be committed. They have to work to get results. So if they see you work like that, if they see you committed like that, they'll have no excuse not to work like that. So you go there, they are working, they are carrying things on site, and you pocket, and you just talk to them like they are nothing. You'll never get this from people. You go to the business side, and you are the boss, so you demand unnecessary respect. You become humorous and you become human, because everybody else deserves respect. So you give absolute respect to everybody that you work with, and you create a very flexible environment. But at the same time, those who want to take advantage of your flexibility, you deal with that. You deal with the situation, not the person. You deal with the situation, that this is allowed, this is not allowed. But let people be relaxed around you. Let people feel like they can come to you and ask questions. Let people feel like they can even crack some jokes with you, and draw your attention to the things that they think you may not be seeing rightly, because they all have that humanity at heart. They are also people, just like you are. So let them see you work as professionals. Let them see that you work as a professional. Let them see you taking the job, the business that you're building, as seriously. Because if they don't see you taking the business as seriously as you want them to take, they will not do that. And the leader, you're so much confident in the prospects and the prosperity of the company. So your all is in all. Everything that you have is in the business. They want to see that kind of commitment from you. Then they will have that kind of commitment. You are not vacillating in terms of the prospects, in terms of the future of the company. You're that much committed, and you talk to them about that. You create that future. You create that picture in their head. You talk about where you want to go, and you are working towards it every day, every now and then, every day. You discuss about the vision of the company with them. You discuss about the mission of the company with them. The vision is where you want to go. You want to go in 2 years, in 3 years, in 5 years. The mission is what you're doing every day to get into where you want to go. You discuss with them. Every now and then you talk about it. Formally, informally, it doesn't matter. When you are talking, you talk about this. That's how you build the team that you want, the team that can be that much committed more than the average one. The cultural sensitivity, our culture is that much very sensitive. People will walk off the business, the company, if they feel like they are misunderstood or you don't respect them. We are people are that much sensitive. They don't want anybody to talk to them anyhow at all. And so you have to build the confidence and at the same time be responsive to the sensitiveness that they have as a people, especially the Ghanaians. The Ghanaians are very much when something who you cry, then they start to cry. You have to work on that. You have to work on that. If you can kill people, you go to the court. If you talk nicely, they will punish you less. But you can be right. If you go to the court and demand your report, you demand your right, the judge will be offended because the culture is that much sensitive. The culture is sensitive to respect, to social conformity. You cannot be seen as that much controversial every time. You have to know how to agree with them on some things that you just have to agree on. Not because you agree, but you know that these are trivias that you can easily agree with people. If they see you that much insensitive to that which is important to them, they see that you are weird and your mind is not correct. So you want to agree with things that are very much trivial. But the things that have to do with productivity and getting results, you just have to be firm and demand what has to be done. Encourage the team constantly to learn. Encourage them to constantly develop themselves. Those who can read, let them read. Those who can study, let them study. Because they can only become better when they are learning. So if they are not learning, they cannot become better. If they are not learning, they cannot become better. So you constantly have to encourage your team to learn, to reduce a lot of things that are nuisance to their development. Because you want commitment from this team. So every now and then the team is in flux, constant. The team is always changing. Somebody is coming, somebody is going. Somebody is coming, somebody is going. The best thing that you can do is the culture that you build, so that everybody who comes to work with the company, the culture will model them. So because every now and then they will come to meet people, and those who are going will go, but the culture continues to grow the people, and the culture is being built by you as a business leader. What you allow, what you disallow, what you encourage, what you discourage. Do you encourage the honesty? Do you encourage the work ethics? Do you encourage the constant learning and development? Do you encourage working extra? Do you encourage those? Because the things that you are rewarding, the things that you are allowing, those are the things that are built in the culture. If they come to work late and you don't say anything about it, they will think that is normal. If they steal and you don't punish, they will think that is normal. If they disrespect their seniors and you allow it, they think that is normal. The things that you don't want to happen in the business, you make sure that you don't allow it, no matter who is there. And you let them know that it's a vision that we are working together. We are working towards this. And if somebody is becoming a hindrance between us getting to the vision, then you have to take that person and retrain, or take that person out and put somebody there who has to get results. You don't have to promote people just because they have education. You have to promote because people can get results. That's the way you build committed team. You don't not because somebody has gone to school, even if they can't get results, just because they've gone to school. No, I want to put somebody there who can get the results, even if it's JSS education, primary school education that they have, but they can do and get the results that you want. Those are the things that you encourage, not the certificate. The certificate is good, but it's only good when they can get results. And I expect those with certificate to get better results than those without certificate. So if those without certificate are getting more results than those with certificate, I am more interested in those who are more productive. I don't care about your certificates that much. Can you deliver? Can you be trained? Because a lot of people can be trained to do a lot of things in businesses. Very few things in companies are that much technical. A lot of things people can do. In construction, in retail, in all kind of, a lot of the guys who work in the banks, let's face it, it's not anything strange. There are a lot of things that they can train a lot of SHS people who have good heart, who have commitment, who have good, who have ethics, honesty, character, can do a lot of things and do them perfectly. So it is who is ready to go through the training to get the results, not so much the degree, or so much the university education that is so much cherished. So if you want to build a business, or if you have a business and you're building, don't overlook the team. Your business is not going to grow to any level without you having the ability to develop develop the right team which is committed to the vision of the business, But you just have to be prepared that it's not so much the team and how long they stay with you, which is good if they stay with you. But if they don't stay with you, the person that you would have become is so much important. The culture that you would have built in the business is so much important. So that people come and people leave, but the culture continues to grow. The culture creates the commitment. The culture creates the beyond average delivery. And you have to know that you cannot build any business which is growing without your ability to lead people and to manage a team. You have to be open. You have to come to a level where you trust people. You have to know that people have skills that you don't have. People have networks that you don't have. People have the abilities that you don't have. Those are the people you want them to come to work with you. People have heart for some things that you may not have heart for. So it's a team. And the more diversified the team is, the better you can get the best of results. So you don't have to pick people only from your village or people from your tribe. It is people you're looking for. Can they do the work? It doesn't matter which tribe, or you don't have to only work with men or women or educated or uneducated. You want to build a strong team. And how diversified the team is, how the kind of what is it? The complexities of the background that you pull the people from to build a team will show the strength of your culture that you have built. So you have to be open-minded, and to know that if you cannot build a business and to let the business grow until you're able to have the skill to develop a culture, to develop a people who are committed to the business, who are committed to the work, who are committed to becoming better themselves with their lives, and who are ready to work beyond the average thing that everybody else is doing. If you don't believe in that, you cannot build anything big, because you have to do everything by yourself, and you are not God. You can only be at one place at the same time. One place at one time. You cannot be one place at the same time everywhere. You only can be one place at one time. The only way that you can be at a lot of places at the same time is that you are able to build a business, train a team, build a culture that people can pick the same skill or even better skill beyond what you have to go and work in a lot of places and representing the same vision, the same philosophy, the same ideologies. You train your people to be respectful. You train your people to be kind. You train your people to be that much happy to work with the company. If anybody is not happy to work with the company, proud to work there, let them go. You only need people. There's no point having 100 people working in a company and they're talking and they're crying and they're weeping and they're blaming. You'll be better off having just 3-4 people who are very much energetic, who are very much happy. They see themselves as, it's not just the money that they have to have. You also have to see in their eyes. Do they believe in what they are becoming by working with the company? Do they think that they are learning? Do they think that their philosophy is changing? Are they becoming more confident in life, in themselves? Do you see those kind of things? Are they grateful for the opportunities that you're getting from working with you, having direct contact with you? Do they see that? Or they are the ones behind talking and complaining and crying and destroying everything that you're building? If that is like that, you don't need people like that to work with you. You don't. The business will never be able to get a committed team when everybody else is murmuring behind your back. They are talking, they are complaining. Their heart is not in the business. They can't see the future. Those kind of people you don't need. You need people who are ready to die for the vision, just as you are ready to die for the vision and to build a company. And that you don't really get it outrightly from the culture. It's something that you have to build. It's something that you have to work on. It's something you have to believe as a person, as a business leader. So you can only go as much as you know the things that you believe in. So if you start a business, if you start a company, you're building a company, and you believe that you don't need people to do anything, you'll never believe in the team. And if you don't believe in the team advantage, the prospects that team building brings, I'm not seeing you as somebody who's able to build a business, because business is actually a team thing. It's a team thing, and it's so difficult to pull a team together. So difficult to put people together. So much difficult. So much difficult. They will disappoint you. They will make a lot of mistakes. They will cost you money. They will lie. They will cheat. They will put a lot of things that you didn't even ever think that they will ever do to you. But at the same time, people will bring joy. People will bring transformation. People will bring peace. People will bring love. The few who stay, you become better because you started to handle people. You only become a better leader because you're able to lead a team. The only way that you prove a leader is where he is able to lead the people. He's able to build people up to get the best of resource. So if you're not able to build people up to get a better resource, somebody said that it's so difficult to, you can't even trust all these people. You can't even trust all these guys and, all these young men. They will run away with your money. They will cheat you. I'm even tired. Sometimes when I look at what they are doing, I feel like giving up. Don't give up. It shows that your team skill is weak. Your philosophy of how to train a people and to build a company by building people is weak. That's why you feel frustrated. It means that you have to go and do engineering on yourself. You have to go and do surgery on yourself. Don't believe so much that you know everything and you are right at everything that you're doing. A lot of it, the problems that are coming from the business, nobody can blame. You cannot blame anybody for it. It's you. So the more sincere you are as to looking for the solutions and the answers, don't look for the answers from everywhere. Look within you. Look at you. What is it that you do right and what is it that you don't do right? Solve that. If you can solve that, the business will pick up once again. So yes, we are coming from the same culture. In the culture, the people will talk, they will lie, they will cheat. It's humanity. People are everywhere. People will lie, will cheat. If you give them opportunity, they will destroy everything. They are in charge of the project, and by the time you see it, they are building a house in your village. If you get the opportunity. But all those things happen because you are not committed to training and you are not leading as a leader. So the more you're committed to the business, the more you're sharing with people. The training so much, depending on even the business, does not so much have to be classroom training. When you meet them, the things that you discuss, the things that you talk about, do they see that you so much have them at heart? Do you think that your team sees you as somebody who is so much genuinely interested in their welfare? Human beings have said that if you are not interested in what they are becoming, they are not interested in you and what you're becoming. Okay, they will only stay with you because they have nowhere to go. The moment that they have an option, they will jump because they think that you don't think about them. So you would want to create a culture where you are genuinely interested in people and their welfare. Do so much. And I said that if a company gets to become all these kind of big companies where you have HR and all those people, then you can be looking at getting all these so-called graduates. But at the startup stage, you need people who are committed to work, not people with certificates. So if the guy with certificate is ready to work, fantastic. But from my experiences, most of these guys with all these certificates are not ready to work in a typical small business that is evolving. Okay, most of them must go and look for government work or this kind of companies, and you have to focus on guys that you can develop who will be very much happy and enthusiastic, committed to your building. You can provide the leadership, a lot of the things they can do. Until your business starts to have structure and some kind of societal respect, and then the other guys who don't want to sacrifice anything, don't want to go through anything, will come and enjoy with you. So in this world, there are people want to live their dreams, people want to live their freedom, but you still need these same people to build a business team, and it is tough to do that. So you have to go beyond just paying salary to build a very committed and beyond average team. You have to be a person who believes in team advantage, and you have to be a person who is interested in what people become, what they are becoming. You have to be interested at core, at heart. You have to be interested. You don't just have to just talk about the work. You talk about their family, their children, their mother, their father, their health, what they want to become, who they want to marry, what church they go to. You have to be interested in those genuinely, not just for the business, but you as a person must have those qualities. The kindness, the love that you share with these people who technically are your family anyway, because they're spending the time with you. So for you to grow the company, you need this. You need this to get committed people. So look for good people. Look for people who are doing something with their lives. Look for people who have endured something. People who have overcome some challenges. Those are the people who easily become that much grateful and that much committed into this kind of businesses that you're building. And develop their confidence. Give them opportunities to grow. Don't do everything yourself. Commit. Let people know that you trust them. Tell them, go and do this, give me a report. Go and do this, give me a report. Go and do this. Handle it yourself. What do you think? What do you think we should do? Ask them questions. Seek their opinion. Debate with them. Discuss with them. Let them bring their argument. You to put your argument around. That's how you build people's confidence. They will know that what they say is also much important to you. And everybody wants their thoughts and the ideas to be considered as important. But if everything is just you and what you know, then you don't need a team. So you train them beyond all this, how they handle their money, a lot of things, the culture, you work on that. And hopefully you encourage them to also learn constantly learning. And along the line, if you even want to encourage some of them to further their education while they still work with you, create opportunities like that. Because every human being given the right opportunity can explode. None is unimportant. Every human is important. So whoever you are building, you can build a committed team with them if you have good heart. If you have good heart, even the expertise that they don't have, if they have good heart, there are people that you can train for the so-called technical skills and they will get it. Because nobody was born with any technical skills. Everybody will learn them. But the good-heartedness, that one is difficult to get that quickly. So talk about character, talk about honesty, talk about ethics, talk about everything that is important to the team. And hopefully you'll be able to build a team that works extra, that is that much committed, that will not steal, that will not lie, that will go home and be thinking of the business because you think about the team when you go home. You think about the business because they think about the business because when you go home, you think about it. And you're thinking of what can we do to get life better for everybody who work with us. And I tell you, it is doable. It is doable. It's possible if you're genuinely interested in what your team is becoming, and you can build it. You can build a business less stressed, less complaining, less worried because you built a team. Because the team is really the structure. The team is really the structure. So if you build a team and you learn it, even if you failed, there are some people who come and cause a lot of trouble. The fact that somebody has cheated you, ran away with your money, lied to you, took the business idea, does not mean that it's just one thing. You are trying to build. You are not skilled, so the person came to screw you. You still have to use that experience to build a team. Okay, that should not stop you from trusting people. The fact that people you trusted dupe you, lied to you, cheated you, the fact that the person you employed ran away with your money, does not mean that everybody else is going to do that. Never. Because until you develop that skill, you cannot build the team. You cannot build the business, actually. No business grows without a team. No, one person business doing what? You can't. You can't. So build the team. It's a philosophy. Build a team, and you only build teams when people see that you are genuinely interested in what they're becoming. So there's no point trying to become an entrepreneur and trying to do everything on yourself, or trying to go and poach people everywhere. I don't believe in those things. I believe in developing from within. Develop, and don't overlook what those with less education can do. Don't. Sometimes the people who delay you more are those with the so-called degrees, because they are thinking of the quality of life that they are getting. They are comparing themselves with their mates. A lot of them, that's what they do. They are not committed to the work. They are comparing themselves with their mates who has become a minister, their mate who is a pastor with a Land Cruiser, their mate who is a professor somewhere, and they forget that their mates got there by working. They don't want to work. They want free lunch. So I would want to work with people who are that much passionate and ready to get results. If they happen to have all those kind of degrees, I don't have problem. But I don't so much be interested in that without getting the results. So we believe in productivity. We believe in getting results, and if your school helps you to get results, fantastic. We'll be ready to work with you. But we want to build a team that is much committed. prospects of the company. And never leave your team behind. Go with them. If people come and go, people come and they go, and you are becoming a better leader, you'll be able to choose better people. And that's how it goes. It's like the trotro driver. He's going from Circle to Kumasi. People will drop, people will join, people will drop, but he's becoming a better driver. And that's what the vision is. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you.